I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to
Lyrical Wisdom.
Well, good morning, Bruce.
Hey, fabulous morning, Donna.
Isn't
How are
it?
you? It is just another day in
love-
paradise.
Oh, yeah. I love days like this. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, paradise. That's a great way to start your day. Open your eyes and say, here I am, another day in
Oh
paradise.
my gosh, yeah. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
A
Yes.
rainbow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knew? Yeah. Well, you guys might. Well, there's so many of you out there that might get a rainbow coming up because you're going to get some rain and then
Yeah.
sun will shine through and bam, there it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
What a beautiful thing,
Yeah. And I mean, since we create our reality, can't we just imagine we see a rainbow when we look outside?
I love to see a rainbow every time I look outside. Yes. And
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite things in the world. I love it
Okay.
when I see any kind of representation of a rainbow. And I enjoy it because in my mind, I also associate rainbows with the chakras. I can't help it.
Oh,
Like
yeah, me
every
too.
time I see anything that looks like a rainbow to me, I'm just
Yep.
like, chakra, 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 chakra. I just like line it all up and go, okay, yeah, hooray me, or hooray
Yeah.
that. It's just
Yeah. Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv. Yes. Oh
Roy
my
G.
gosh.
Biv.
Yeah.
And that is, you're right. It is. I mean, for me, there's 7 chakras that we are aware of. We have many, many more chakras,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
most of the time, it's talked about the 7 chakras within the body. And the 7 colors of the rainbow, the
Yes.
7 sisters, the Pleiades, the 7 planets.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating how you can really learn that much about something. I can't call it simple, Bruce. I was going to say something as simple as a rainbow, but a rainbow stands for so much more. I mean, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yes, there is.
And I would love to know. I have been extremely lucky in my life, and I have seen several double rainbows. I want to know if any of you have ever witnessed a double rainbow. Do you remember where you were when you saw that double rainbow?
Wow.
I
Yeah.
would love for you to reach out and let us know, because to me, that is like the magic and the wonder and the beauty that is within that rainbow is doubled. It's like,
Absolutely.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, it really does magnify it.
It
So,
completely does. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, each and every one, for being here today with us. We love having you here to share these moments with you. And we love hearing from you, especially that you've enjoyed an episode, or you have a question, or you have a request. And we love for you to let us know. Let us know. Have you seen a double rainbow?
Absolutely. Um,
Because that's what we're talking about today, Bruce. That is our song for today.
that is our song. And I just wanted to say that you mentioned the Seven Sisters. And the last time that we were, I mean, you can still see the Seven Sisters, but with the naked eye, usually when we look up into the sky, how many stars do you see?
Oh,
There's there's only six.
that's fascinating.
And
Yeah.
so you can see them if you look through a telescope or something to this degree. But the seeing all seven distinctly requires very good conditions with the best visibility around 100,000 years ago. So the nickname, excuse me, the nickname, the Seven Sisters, is extremely old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is something that, you know, we really, I think the I think it was more I mean, it says what I'm finding is that it was more dispersed about 100,000 years ago, making it easier for early humans to discern seven individual stars, um, prompting widespread myths. However, think about that. Like 100,000 years ago, you could see all seven stars just standing outside on a very dark night.
Wow.
Nowadays, if you look, and I've tried this, if you look up into the sky, you can see six of them pretty easily, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at it, but it takes, like they say, just the right kind of conditions to be able to see them perfectly, or you're going to probably need some sort of technological help. And so it's interesting to me, like, where did that, you know, I would love if anybody else out there has any comments on that. Where did the Seven Sisters nickname come from? You
Mm.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a really fascinating thought. You know, oh gosh, Allie's being cool and she's getting something up here for us.
Ooh, it's
Um,
in Taurus. Yeah. The
yeah,
Pleiades. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is fascinating, and we live in such a fascinating world.
we
There,
do.
rainbows have always had a very special significance in our life. Just the, you think about how rainbows shine and the colors that develop after the rain is
Yeah, yeah.
usually, there has to be some sort of water present in order to allow that rainbow to shine through.
Oh yeah.
It's light and water, it's the sun and fire and all of that mixed with the water and the air that allows the rainbow, which
Absolutely.
spiritually symbolize hope, new beginnings, and divine promises. Thank you, Allison. We all know that from the Bible story of Noah's Ark. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
saw the rainbow, and so,
yeah.
we all know how much a rainbow means in our life. Hope, renewal, promise, and a bridge. I mean, I love there's a movie where Thor, I mean, that's how they come to Earth is on a rainbow,
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah,
it's beautiful. So, what do you say, Bruce? Shall we dig in and let
we gotta.
everybody know why we're talking about rainbows?
I know. Yes, we must. We must.
Yes, we must. Today is Rainbow by Kacey Musgraves. When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice. It ain't raining anymore. It's hard to breathe when all you know is the struggle of staying above the rising water line. Well, the sky has finally opened. The rain and wind stopped blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella. But darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. If you could see what I see, you'd be blinded by the colors. Yellow, red, and orange, and green, and at least a million others. So tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. 'Cause the sky has finally opened, the rain and wind stopped blowing. But you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella. Well, darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Oh, tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. Everything is all right now, 'cause the sky has finally opened, and the rain and wind stopped blowing. But you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Let go of your umbrella, 'cause darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. It'll be all right. I
I
love
love
it.
this song. I love it too. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. Yes,
Yeah.
we're synced. Yeah, but so and not like the sink in the kitchen or a sinking ship. I think we're just
Oh,
SYNCED.
yeah. Yes.
But oh my gosh, beautiful song.
Yeah.
And thank you for picking this. This is such a beautiful song. What I love about this is, you know what this reminded me of when you were reading it? I was like, oh my gosh, have you ever asked something to like a chat GPT or Gemini or one of those things, and you ask it to give you a like one sentence answer? You like make it very specific and you make it so that it makes it very short and very concise. And I feel like if you did that with this song, it would be, you've got an aura around you and it's going to be a beautiful day and life or whatever. Beautiful, it's just going to be beautiful. You've got an aura around you, it's beautiful, you're going to be beautiful, like I feel like that would be the answer if you like plug this in. But I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. It's just that's what I kept feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, if I could summarize this in my own head. I'm like, I keep seeing somebody with an aura, like just this rainbow aura around
Oh,
them
yeah.
you know
That is something that I think is a beautiful place to begin, Bruce, because that is what acknowledges the whole song. You're right. The title, Rainbow, and what she's talking into is the fact that these physical bodies are over 70 trillion cells. We all know that. And science has proven that every individual cell is light, sound, and vibration. And we all know that all that is also colors. It's because when you take light and you fracture it through a prism, that's how you get the rainbow,
yes
is, the fractured light. And so every single cell within our body has a rainbow in it. We all are just walking rainbows, you
yes
know?
yes
And yeah, it's been called an aura, and you can take a picture of your aura. It's not something that we're just talking about. It's real.
It
We've
is
proven
real.
it.
Some people can see them. If you can, I would love for you to just make a comment if you wouldn't mind. Um, I
Yeah,
I I don't want to make my own claims, so I'm just going to say that if you do, please let us know. But yeah, some people have different degrees of being able to see people, other beings' auras, and in some very dramatic ways sometimes. And so I would love to hear from you. But yes, I agree. Because I love how it goes into what will encourage us to see a rainbow with when it rains, it pours. And then,
right.
but you didn't notice, but you didn't even notice, it isn't raining anymore. Like the way they say that, I think, that's because like it just kind of gives you, I think it's like a key. It kind of opens that thought process for all of us to go, okay, when it rains, it pours. The song is called The Rainbow. We're going rainbow, like we're thinking rainbow, we're going rainbow. There's rainbow in my head. It's like it kind of helps bring that out. And because then it just kind of takes that. I feel like it then kind of says, all right, we're going to reference this because this is what nature shows us in this beautiful, beautiful way, like we were talking about. But then it kind of takes that and it goes, yeah, but let's move that to the side for right now. And now let's talk about this, and
Well, I think it's also a part of understanding most of us see a rainbow after a storm
yeah,
or before a storm. Like
yeah,
I said, there has to be water present.
yeah,
That's what helps to form the rainbow in the sky.
yeah,
And therefore, we associate rainbows, I believe, with some sort of, storm.
yes. I was
And
just going to say, yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah,
biblical things, it stormed for
yeah,
40 days and 40 nights. I mean,
yeah,
it flooded
yeah,
the world. So I think that I love what she is saying. She's bringing acknowledgement to each and every one of us that there will always be a time in your life where when it's raining, it's pouring, and you probably won't even notice when the rain stops
yeah.
because it's hard to breathe when all you know is the struggle of staying above the rising water line.
Oh yeah. Like
You know?
watching a like
Yeah.
watching a water polo team. All you can think is how are they treading water for so long? Like, come on. It's I'm just gonna say in the literal way, that's what we do when we're swimming. We're keeping our head above the water line. But a lot of times we do feel like that. The struggle of staying above the rising water line is metaphoric, in this song, I
Oh,
believe.
very. And it's just a really beautiful and powerful, I think, definition of life for all of
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
as a human being.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
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 And I love it. It's like, then, well, the sky has finally opened. The rain and wind stopped blowing,
Yeah. In other words, hello,
but you're
wake
stuck out in
up.
the same old storm again. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
just, it's almost like somebody's running backwards while the storm is it's like it's going another direction. And if you just stand still or if you keep going, moving forward, the storm is gonna leave, and go behind you. It's gonna pass.
Yeah.
But if you run backwards with it, you can keep up with it if you want.
Yeah.
you know, you
Or
could
you
stay in it.
just sit there, right? You're going to
Yeah.
be stuck in it. In other words, it's a beautiful way of saying you create your reality. The more
Yes.
you think about the storm and struggling to stay above water, the more that water's going to stay there and
Yes.
give you the opportunity to struggle because that's what you are asking the universe to bring you
You're
in a
calling it
weird and
in.
crazy sort of way.
It's true. You're calling it in. It's like
Yeah.
you make it the focus. You create and think about that. You create the vision in your head, and it's like you could think of that as like, is a dream like me going somewhere else in my consciousness and having a real experience, or is it just kind of like one of those things that isn't like that? Like, is it just a fantasy? Well, you could be reliving the storm every time you make yourself relive the storm because you're thinking about it and focusing on it and being in the storm constantly. And so that is now becoming your reality because that's how we call it in. We just completely absorb ourselves in those thoughts and feelings. You make yourself live it,
You
even if it
know,
is only in your mind.
true, very true. And how many times have you all listening and you, Bruce, because I've done it several times where, it's kind of gray outside, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know if it's going to rain or not,
Yeah.
but you stop and you pick up your umbrella and you bring it with you,
Yes.
expecting it to rain.
Yeah.
And and then you say to yourself, oh, well, now it's gonna rain, because I brought my umbrella.
Oh
Or
my gosh.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's that type of energy of expecting the storm, and therefore, you're going to be stuck in that same old storm again because you're holding tight to your umbrella. You're expecting it. You're, like you said, you're creating it.
You're creating it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Ram Dass said it very eloquently when he would say, everywhere you look, you see what you are looking for. If
Mm.
you are looking for God, all you are going to see is God.
You know what, Bruce? That is so serendipitous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
synchronicity. I just read that. It popped up on a feed I was reading or something. And just last night, I read those exact words by Ram Dass.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That is
That's a
so
that's a
amazing. See, guys, I mean, all you have to do is, yeah, we do. We can, if you are stuck and bless you, bless you, bless you, because I know that sometimes we get in this rut of
yeah.
feeling like we can't get out. Like this is going to be my life from now on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we can understand who we really are, because this is where I'm going, because she's telling us after this, she tells us, just darling, I'm trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. If we can
Yes.
just let go of that umbrella
Yes.
and say and allow the rain to fall on us a little bit to kind of wake us up,
Yes.
maybe,
Yeah.
then the skies will open up. I love how she describes who and what we really are.
Oh my gosh, yes, because
If
that's why
you,
I say
yeah.
when you first read that there's always, but darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. It just immediately I was like, aura. It's the aura. It's that beautiful rainbow aura. And then it goes on to say, if you could see what I see, you'd be blinded by the colors, yellow, red, orange, and green, and at least a million others. I love that because that's
Oh,
exactly like, we are, it's like, hey, I know you're stuck, just like you said, I know you're feeling like that. You're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella and, sometimes it's hard to let go. It's hard to keep moving forward and to let it go. And that's why I think that's the almost like a plea, like, hey, you. I see you for who you really are
hurting.
with this
Yeah.
beautiful rainbow aura. You don't
Oh,
know how
uh-huh.
beautiful you are. You're just so beautiful. And, you know, you'd be blinded by the colors. You'd be, all these beautiful colors, it's so beautiful in its own way. But yeah, it's hard sometimes, so hard to like look at ourselves that way.
You know what, Bruce? I just had a thought when you were saying that about sometimes you just get stuck.
Yeah.
And I remembered I was like, yeah, like you're treading water. You were talking about
Water polo.
water
Yeah.
polo people. And I, it reminded me of something, Bruce, that really, really may help a lot of us understand because I used to teach swim lessons. And the
Wow.
biggest thing was teaching a child what to do if it fell in the pool without its adult or guardian around. And I would teach them that they would, you're struggling. Okay. So I'm trying to create a visual here. You're treading water, you're trying to keep your head above water. Take a breath and just lay back, lay on your back, let go, relax, don't struggle. And I would teach them how to float
That's
on their
amazing.
back.
That's
And
amazing.
this whole song, it just came in. I was like, wow, I can see the person stuck out in the same old storm, you know, staying above the rising water line, struggling to get their breath. And it's in that moment of putting down the umbrella,
Yeah.
taking off
Yeah.
your coat, tying up the boat. In other words, let go, let go, let
Yeah.
God, whatever, what is it that bring that essence that is within you, that divine spark? What do you call it? Source, creator, God, Allah, whatever it is that you call it, when you let go and allow it to be, then that's what she's describing here.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you could see what I see,
Yeah.
you'd be blinded by the light that is emanating from you right now. The
Yeah.
colors that your true essence, your soul is creating all around
Yes.
you,
Yes.
at least a
Yeah.
million others.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So tie up the boat, take
Yeah.
off your coat,
Yeah.
and look around.
Yeah.
And what
For
will
sh-
you see?
just beauty, just beauty.
You'll
And
see that
that's
the
a,
sky is opened.
yes. And it's open and there's a rainbow right there, and beautiful rainbow that you're going to be able to see. But not only the rainbow that you're going to be able to see because of now the storm is past, in the way that we all understand seeing a rainbow, really you could see the rainbow within you.
Yeah.
You get to experience that. And then they go in with the sky, because the sky is finally opened, the rain and wind stopped blowing, and it repeats that, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella, because this is where, it's kind of like a return, hey, you're still kind of you're like trying to keep with that storm. It's like passing. It's like the earth is rotating and the storm is going its way and the earth is going its way. And you're like staying under that storm. It's really quite an effort. And, it's, she's saying, hey, or yeah, Kacey Musgrave is saying, hey, you're making that effort, let go,
Well,
you
because she
know?
even says, Bruce, you hold tight to
Yes.
your umbrella.
Yes.
And to me, there is that feeling or that understanding of not wanting to let go.
Well,
That's
and
what you do when you hold tight to something.
yeah, well, and sometimes there's a stubbornness to sustaining a certain amount of suffering, like in a weird way. Some people they have to know and learn how to find their inner rainbow and be able to feel it and see it in a more profound way than others because they're just so they can I've experienced this with myself where I became so stubborn in the sense that I shouldn't be I shouldn't be complaining, I shouldn't be talking about how this is difficult, I should just be able to sustain this and get through this because that's what you're supposed to do, right? It's like, wait a minute, let go of the umbrella, Bruce. You're a beautiful rainbow and you deserve to see how beautiful your rainbow is, and you will if you let go of that rainbow and get out from that storm. You don't have to sustain that thing. You can take your coat off and stay a while, hang up your hat, take your shoes off, whatever it is, you can hang out, stay there for a little bit. Enjoy that rainbow. Enjoy your rainbow, you know?
And Bruce, the most beautiful thing, I believe, also in this song and understanding life is that, yes, she's asking you to tie up your boat and take off your coat and put down your umbrella to be able to recognize the rainbow that is within
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Once you do realize that rainbow and all that's within you, then you can pick up that umbrella, you can get in your boat, you can be in that storm, and it doesn't keep you stuck.
It doesn't keep you
You
stuck. You can move forward.
the beauty I've have you seen a rainbow when it's raining? I have. In other words, it's you still, we're saying you don't have to not ever enter a storm.
Yes.
Be in a storm, be
Yes.
yourself, be
Yeah.
able to weather those storms more beautifully by
Absolutely.
understanding the rainbow that's behind that storm, that's
Well, or
within that storm.
yes, that's what I was just
Because,
thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the rainbow's still there. Even though
That's
you
oh my
can't
gosh.
see
That was
it,
exactly
it's
those words were
always
exactly yeah.
there. Yeah.
Thank you, Donna. Yeah, it is always there. That's what I was thinking. You just said it like right out of my mind, out of, oh my gosh. And yes, because I mean that's what she says, I'm trying to tell you, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. So, tie up the boat, take off your coat, take a look around. My favorite moment at this point, everything is all right now.
In that moment, yes, that is the most, that line right there is what I was speaking into
Yes,
about when
yes.
you find your rainbow,
Yeah,
then the storms can come, and because you just know that within every storm is a rainbow. That
yeah,
rainbow is always within you.
yeah,
There's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. And
yeah,
that's when you get to that moment of everything is all right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's hard to feel that sometimes, but it is so true because, as she says, the sky has finally opened, meaning you see, you can see it, and you will be able to see it. You'll be able to see your own rainbow, and you'll be able to be in that moment where you can see that sky has finally opened and the rain and wind stopped blowing, because you're not going to be stuck in that same old storm again. However, that's not what the lyrics say next.
I know.
They
Yeah.
say, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again, because in this way, maybe the person that this is being sung to is still just not ready to let
hasn't
go of
s-
that umbrella.
hasn't seen the rainbow yet. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And they just
And we
can't let
all
go.
get to that place. We're all in that place where
Yeah,
we're in the middle of a storm. And all we're saying is, hey, let go of your umbrella.
yes.
And so
Because we're,
is that's what Casey's saying too. Because,
yeah,
darling, I'm just trying to tell you.
there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. And it's awesome how she says it. There's always been a rainbow hanging over your head, and she repeats it there. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
And then the last line is,
It'll be
it'll
all
be all
right.
right.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
that's, she just lets you know it'll
it's
be
going to,
all right.
yeah. And
Everything always works out.
it's
That's
funny
my
too.
favorite saying.
I do too. Yeah. No, I love it. And I love the way that she says, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head because, like in a way, to say that there's something hanging over somebody's head how do we usually say that? Like, how is that normally fed in our like society? Like how we talk to each other? Like, how do we normally like talk about that? Do we say that that's something that is positive, or do we think of it as something like a storm's hanging over your head, or they've got this thing hanging over their head, you know?
I
And
think that reference of hanging over your head does have a little bit of a negative connotation behind it because that's what we've been trained to
yes,
understand that
yeah.
phrase. Yes.
And I love how she plays with that by saying, haha, it's a
Yeah,
rainbow,
guess what?
you know? Like
You,
it's a rainbow. Like,
yeah, you might see the storm hanging over your head, but guess what? Hello.
yeah, you got it wrong. It's a
There's always
rainbow.
been a rainbow
Yeah,
hanging over
yeah,
your
no, yeah,
head.
yeah. And
So,
I love
yeah.
that. It's almost, I mean, I don't want to think that like Kacey Musgraves is sitting back there making fun of all of us little humans out here, like, ha ha ha, you know, but it does feel good to say it like that because honestly, that's what it, you know, we should be able to, you know, hopefully by the time you find that moment, you're not like mad at yourself for not seeing that rainbow before. You know, honestly, I hope I know it's going to be a wonderful experience, you know, where it's just like, boom,
I
you
was going
know,
to say, Bruce, I believe that when one truly sees that rainbow hanging over their head, allows the light within them to just pop out, it is
yes.
such a beautiful moment
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it'll take their breath away.
It'll
And
be
they'll
the thing. Yeah.
know in that moment that everything is all right
Yes.
and that it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
What a beautiful day.
beautiful day, beautiful song, beautiful moment. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. We truly appreciate you. And thank you for shining your rainbow and allowing the world to see you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us here today on
Lyrical
Wisdom.